Vayichan sham Yisrael neged ha'har, ahar kulanu ke'echad.
Hi everybody, Yoel Gold here, recording from my home in Los Angeles. I want to thank Yeshivat Hakotel for putting this incredible learning initiative together. Vayichan sham Yisrael neged ha'har ki'ish echad b'lev echad. So many thousands of people are coming together, tuning in to be inspired, to learn Torah, to prepare ourselves for Shavuos. It's such a unique opportunity. Thank you, Yeshivat Hakotel, for taking the initiative and putting this together. They call it social distancing. A friend of mine, Dr. Mark Brenner, said to me, he said, it shouldn't be called social distancing. Social distancing feels like we can't socialize. And you see it sometimes, we're walking with our masks and gloves, and we kind of feel uncomfortable even to say hello to the person next to us because of social distancing. It's really physical distancing. It's not social distancing. The physical closeness is what's dangerous. To socializing is a must, especially now. We have to talk to each other. We have to call each other. We have to Zoom each other. We have to connect with each other. And that's why it's so important right now to be inspired and to connect with others in a meaningful way. Those of you who have watched my videos know how much I enjoy telling a good story. I'm passionate about storytelling for many reasons, but sometimes I have people ask me, what's a good story? What makes a good story? And I tell them that I have learned that a good story consists of two parts. One part is pre-written by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that everybody has. Globally, we have, the fate of us humans as a race. Coronavirus was pre-written by Hashem. And then we have, individually, our own unique set of circumstances that we have in our own lives. Each of us have different set of circumstances. These are all pre-written by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, some people are born into a divorced home. Some people are born with a certain illness. Some people are born with... everybody has their own challenges. It's all pre-written. But that's only one part of the story. The other part, we write. Our responses, our reactions, our choices, our decisions, our mindset, our attitude to those set of circumstances that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us. And when those responses are aligned with the values that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has outlined for us in the Torah, that makes a good story. That makes an incredible story. If we can respond in the ideal way, regardless of the circumstances, that's an incredible story. And right now, we are in the middle of writing one of the most incredible stories in human history. Coronavirus. The way we have responded to this crisis is incredible. I received two pictures recently that illustrate this point so beautifully. Take a look at this picture right here. This picture is of the Melitzer Rebbe Rab Yaakov Harwitz of Monsey in a cherry picker in that bucket, lifted up to the second floor, visiting a resident that missed him because he couldn't come into the facility for many, many weeks since coronavirus started. He used to visit him every single Friday. So he decided he's going to visit him with a cherry picker. What a way to respond. What a beautiful way to do chesed. He's in the box, but he certainly thought outside of the box. Here's another picture. Take a look at this one. Bag of tefillin with a boy's name on it and a note. This boy, 9 years old, in Colombia in the ICU. He has cancer and coronavirus, the two most feared illnesses of our time. Eliezer Lipa ben Lifsha. Please daven for him. His parents are, you can imagine, they're going through such pain physically, emotionally, mentally, the strain, the stress. They can't leave the room for 7 days. Once they get in there, they won't allow him out. Him or her, whichever parent is on guard. They can't leave. One day, the father sees there's a bag by the door with tefillin. And somebody wrote, I bought this beautiful pair of tefillin anonymously for your son for a segula that he should get well and use it. His parents don't even think. They don't even dare to think about tomorrow. They're trying to get through today. But somebody, some random person anonymously heard about it and decided to give them hope. What a beautiful story. The illness, the difficulty is from Hashem. The response, how we show up in those circumstances, that's us. We're writing a beautiful story. We're co-authoring with HaKadosh Baruch Hu one of the most beautiful stories in history. Let's get to Shavuos. Every year I have the same question. Imagine you're going out on a date. You're dating, you're looking to get married. You date one person, another person, another person. After 100 people, they all say no. Finally, you come to the 101st person. You get a yes. You get married. And now a year later, you're celebrating your first anniversary. And you write in the card, honey, I dated 100 other people. From all those people, I chose you. Really? You chose me? Everybody else said no. You had no choice. Comes Shavuos, we say, Ata b'chartanu mikol ha'amim. Hashem chose us from all the nations. Really? The Medrash says, Chachamim say, Chazal tell us, Hashem went to all the nations in the world and everybody said no. They wanted to know what's written in there. As soon as they heard it would be a challenge to keep that mitzvah, they said, we're not interested. We're the only ones who said yes. How is that choosing us from all the nations? You had no choice. I think I've got the answer. The answer is one word. Priming. You see, I can prime you to say yes or to say no to certain questions. Take a pen and paper right now. If you're watching and you have the ability to take a pen and paper, take a pen and paper right now and write down the following. S-O blank, leave it blank, and a P. What word am I thinking of? Now, if you wrote soup, you put a U in there. That's correct. Could be soup. Or you could have written soap. S-O-A-P. It would largely depend on what you were exposed to. If you had the experience of eating soup right before this question, you probably wrote soup. If you had to wash your hands, which is more likely right now with Corona with soap, you probably answered soap. I can prime you to answer a certain way. You see, HaKadosh Baruch Hu primed us for Kabbalah Satorah way before we said yes. He put us through Mitzrayim, showed us the Makkos, Kriyas Yamsuf, then brought us to Har Sinai, and said, "V'atem tili mamlechas kahana v'goy kadosh." Atem re'isem, you saw everything I did. Now do you want it? And we said yes. Of course we said yes. It's because he primed us to say yes. He gave us our circumstances. Those circumstances, he primed that response from us. Everybody else said no because they weren't primed for it. So while we said yes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose us. He chose us. A friend of mine, Rabbi Shloime Farchi, he once went around the streets of England and he asked people, just random people, he asked them all the same question: how many Jews are in the world today? And the answers ranged from 1 billion to 4 or 5 billion. Now, there's 7.8 billion right now in the world, 7.8 billion people. The random Gentile thought that there are billions of Jews in the world. In fact, we actually are close to maybe 18 million right now, between 15 and 18 million. Now, if you took 7.8 billion and you wanted to know what percentage is 15 to 18 million people from 7.8 billion, I don't know the math, but from what I've seen, it's 0.227%, roughly. If you rounded that off to the whole, to the nearest whole number, it's 0%. You hear that? Ki atam ma'at mikol ha'amim. You are a minority. I was just in the bank, and this guy George, the executive, comes over to me and says, "Rabbi, would Jews be defined as a minority?" Yeah, we are a minority. But even the question, right? Are we a minority? We're a minority. We're chosen. We're a minority, but we're chosen. We're chosen by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm so proud to be a Yid. And if I can communicate anything before Shavuos to anyone who's watching, to anyone who's listening, you are right now living in a historic time. You are from this minority that will greet Mashiach very soon. You're a minority, but you're chosen to be here right now. And we have to step up and own it. Be proud of it. To be proud that HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose us. I always like telling over the story. You know, we're living right before Mashiach's time. Mashiach is literally, you can hear the footsteps of Mashiach. And people ask, what, Mashiach is going to come now? Now, in my time? He didn't come in the times of Rashi, the Rambam, Reb Shimon ben Yochai, Rabbi Akiva. Oh, in the times of Yoel Gold, he'll show up. Really? I'd like to tell over the story of how last year I came home from shul on Shabbos morning, and my 6-year-old came running over to me, and he said, "Dad, I need your help, I need your help." And he grabbed my hand, and he pulled me to the playroom. And he showed me that he had built this whole tower made of magnetiles. You know those magnetiles that you build one on top, you put it one on top of the other? And he said, "Dad, there was a ladder right next to it, and he was standing on the ladder. And he couldn't reach to the very top of his tower. It was almost touching the ceiling. It was a big ladder. Almost touching the ceiling, but he couldn't reach. He was short. He said, "Dad, could you put the last piece on top of the tower for me?" And I said, "Of course." I took the piece, and I slowly stepped onto that ladder. And ever so carefully, I reached out, and my son, I could see his face, says, "Dad, please be careful. Don't ruin the tower. Don't let it flip over. Don't let it break." And I put that last piece on, and I connected heaven to earth. That tower connected heaven to earth, and you should have seen the smile on his face. He was so proud. The Chafetz Chaim says, Mashiach is coming soon, not because of how great we are. We're actually on top of the tower. We're that last piece. And we have that responsibility to really stretch ourselves, to really stay true to who we are, to be proud, to remember, yes, Hashem is saying, I chose you. You're living in 2020. You're here. I chose you. We are standing on the shoulders of giants. We have a responsibility. And as far as I'm concerned, we're passing this responsibility, this test, with flying colors. Nothing is stopping us. We continue to grow. We continue to show HaKadosh Baruch Hu how much Torah means to us. How we go above and beyond to be inspired, to feel connected. We go above and beyond lios ki ish echad b'lev echad, to be one, to do chesed with each other, to continue, yes, socializing and being mechazik each other. In schus of this shir, of this program, of all the chesed that's going on, may we be zoicha to finally put that last piece onto that tower, connect heaven to earth, and bring Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mheira b'yameinu. Amen v'amen. Thank you for listening. Stay safe and have a good Yom Tov.
Kulam, kulam, ke'echad.